All right, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, fellow Pandemonium travelers, this is Seattle Pandemonium Shutdown Day 136 by my count. And oh boy, does the... Oh, let's turn that down a little bit. Were you scared? I was scared for a second. Oh boy, guys, we're in it. I don't even know what it is anymore. The decline of a civilization. I don't know. I don't want to give anybody ideas. It can get worse. Okay, so this is. I don't know what they're doing. Doing all right. It can get worse. For example, I don't see armed people walking around like at the grocery store. For example, not that that's a great, bar to be going under, I guess, if we're doing a limbo analogy, or over if we're doing a high jumping analogy. But that's not happening yet. Now, I can see that happening, so that's unsettling. But, to put everything in context, okay? Kyle, what are you talking about? So, you take something like what the rioting that's going on in Portland. I'm not quite sure. I haven't actually looked, to be honest. I haven't looked at what the rioters in Portland, Oregon, actually want. If they have a core leadership or some kind of central message, I'm not aware of what it is. See, Black Lives Matter, District 4. Black Lives Matter. Yep. Bespectacled white lib. That's what he is. Black Lives Matter. Okay, cool, dude. Are you doing that because you actually think Black Lives Matter, or are you doing that so that people don't vandalize your car, or virtue signaling to other people? Whatever, fine. The rioting in Portland has been going on for 55 days or something. Now, correlating that demonstration, let's call it a demonstration to be charitable, for that long with that level of activity, correlating it with George Floyd, or was it George Kirby? I don't know. It was George Floyd. It was George Floyd. What is this? What is all this meant to do? What does the surrounding of federal, I think it's the courthouse in Portland, surrounding it and vandalizing it, and then having these unmarked law enforcement, unmarked officers, unmarked soldiers, whatever, coming out and abducting citizens off the whatever. They're Customs and Border Patrol. And they're protecting a federal building. They're federal agents protecting a federal building. They are marked. This unmarked thing is nonsense. They're driving rented vehicles around, but they have patches on their uniforms, on their shoulders, that tell you what agency they're with. That's nonsense. Stop believing that nonsense. First, okay? Second, why are they arresting these people? Well, because at some point the local law enforcement won't arrest these people. Therefore, the feds have to come in and go, okay, you're not going to stop people from destroying a federal building. We will come in and protect the federal building, which means arresting the people who are trying to destroy the federal building. Now, that does not mean that libertarianism as a concept is bankrupt if I go, yeah, well, this is the system we're in, guys. We were already here before all this happened. Welcome aboard, being concerned about law enforcement and their ability to detain people and whatnot. And here's what's apparently happening with these people. They're not black bagging them and then throwing them out of a fucking helicopter, okay? They're taking them, IDing them, processing them, charging them with with crimes officially, and then letting them go for a later court appearance. That's apparently what's happening. Boo-hoo, cry me a fucking river. This isn't the fucking civil rights movement of the fucking 60s, okay? God. Everybody's just so full of nonsense. Everybody believes these crazy narratives, and it just keeps getting worse. And the thing is, the crazy narratives, The crazy narratives are why people start doing crazy things. And then you wonder why are these extremists? Why are people besieging the CNN headquarters in Atlanta and like throwing fireworks in the lobby and tagging the place up? Because they believe these narratives that are highly energized. And I don't really have a better term for it other than basically extremism. It's like people have been radicalized by various media, social media, thought leaders, etc., various narratives that they then use those to give themselves permission to act in this way that they're acting. Now, the big question, do they have a point? Are they right? Just because I feel like it's kind of stupid to stand outside of the federal building and graffiti it and, get shot with pepper spray and then complain that you got shot with pepper spray for doing the thing that will get you shot with pepper spray, doesn't mean that they're wrong. It doesn't mean that they're not affecting change either. And this is really the point of all this stuff, right? Is, you're a little crooked. I've been crooked this whole time. It might make you nauseous. They might be right. I don't necessarily know. What I know is that in the current context of all the things that are going on, the last thing we need, with a pandemic happening, by the way, with an apparently highly contagious strain of novel coronavirus, people gathering in large numbers in the street probably isn't helping to control that. I feel like I shouldn't need to say that, but I need to, because this is apparently a bizarre contradiction in messaging that exists. It's happening right now, where you have medical professionals saying, oh no, we support the George Floyd protests. What? But gathering in large numbers and people breathing on each other, and even if everyone was wearing a mask, which they aren't, you're still like gathered around and you're shoulder to shoulder with somebody and they're breathing through a mask, and then it's just madness, okay? Now, the rioting shouldn't be okay just in general principle of what are you doing? Don't do that. That's not lawful assembly. At the same time, I don't know, sometimes you gotta break stuff to make a point. I mean, the United States exists because people said, fuck it, we're gonna break some stuff. But at the same time, in the current context, what are you doing? Why? And is it helping anything? And this is the thing. You're hurting the coronavirus containment efforts, at the very least, by gathering in these mosh pits in the street. Secondly, are you helping the marginalized people? This is what I don't... Again, I've touched on this before. I don't know what all of this stuff is supposed to do, or supposed to be doing, to help non-white people. Like, that's the whole point of Black Lives Matter, right? Is not just non-white, but specifically black people. Like, let's dial it down. Never mind the Asians, the Indians, the Middle Easterners. Never mind the Jews, wherever they fall. Specifically black people, right? Specifically just black Americans, okay? How does attacking a federal building in Portland, Oregon help Black Lives Matter, or help people understand that Black Lives Matter, or cause people to rethink whether or not Black Lives Matter? Like, in some measurable fashion, what does anything going on in Portland, Oregon, of all places, have to do with the police in Minneapolis being bad at policing black people? Because again, like, a core of all this is the police being bad at policing black people and killing them intentionally or unintentionally, right? Because we don't care about the Daniel Shavers. We don't care about the white people killed by police, apparently. We don't go crazy and riot over them killing, what's his name? Duncan Lemp. We don't care in the same way that apparently that we care about, George Floyd. Or, Ferguson. Michael Brown. We don't care. Not in the same way. So, you're in Portland. You got Moms for Rioting or whatever they were. It was a bunch of, you get some middle-aged ladies out there to promote a vanguard of... It's running with a mask on. It's just... Come on. Oh, Jesus. Okay. What does throwing fireworks at the federal building in Portland, Oregon have to do with whether or not people think black lives do in fact matter? Like, maybe there's just something obvious that I'm missing, that like they're making noise and so they're keeping the movement alive, like they're keeping the movement relevant in the headlines so that people keep talking about it, I guess. Something like that. Like that's kind of the best I can get to, is that, oh no, we're still making noise and making you literally talk about it. Okay. But like, it's not necessarily helping though. Like, the gathering of the Juggalos happens every year, and the Juggalos love it. Everyone else doesn't care and is not gonna go, and they still think Juggalos are garbage, and Insane Clown Posse is stupid. Like, just because it continues and persists doesn't actually mean you're winning anybody over, is the point, right? That's kind of a good analogy, actually. But like, this is one of the things. This is one of the things that becomes so amorphous about a lot of these movements. This isn't about, laws on the books that forbid teaching black people to learn to read or something, or you're not allowed in the front of the bus or something literally right there. We charge black people a poll tax to go vote, but not other people. Something crazy, like something that we would think of as crazy now. Something way like clearly racist. That's not what's happening. What's happening is, oh no, like black people are disproportionately represented in policing. Okay. Are they committing more crime? Well, yeah, but maybe, but that's only because we're policing them more, so that's what we see. Okay, but what do black people say? Well, black people say that, like, their neighborhoods are violent and dangerous. Okay, my neighborhood is not violent and dangerous. I don't think, as far as I know. If you put more police in the neighborhood, I assume, yeah, you would probably catch more people committing more crimes, but I don't hear gunshots frequently. If I did, it would be, writing on the wall. And the few times that has happened in my neighborhood, when I called it in because I heard semi-automatic small arms fire not too far from my house, they had already been called about it by multiple people within a few minutes. Something like that, right? Like, the reality on the ground in these black neighborhoods is not just police are there and that's what makes the place terrible. That's not what's happening, right? Now, are they over-policed? I'm willing to hear that. I can hear that. I can get there. You know what I mean? But, again, throwing fireworks at a federal building in Portland, Oregon is doing what to help black people being policed in Atlanta? I mean, am I wrong here? Like, that there's a complete disconnect between these things? Like, how does the one connect to the other? And how is this helping, right? Has anything that they've done made the situation better? And I would argue, of course, the answer is no, not really. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe this is all helping, but we don't really know that, so... I guess we have to wait and see how things play out. Maybe black lives will begin mattering, because apparently they don't matter now. Alright, that's enough from me for one day. Talk to you later. Bye.